I always love the church appropriate dance moves. I love that video.
You know
That's
what? I think we're gonna probably do that next time around.
yeah,
But we
that's
have to do the kind of put it on there and kind of gather a crowd so they can enjoy it with us.
I know. I'm afraid too many people miss that. Maybe we ought to like take like a commercial break in the middle of a live stream.
Got it.
All right. Hey, out there, Ground Zero. Man, it's good to be here. Chuck and I were talking today and just decided we would jump on here tonight for just about 5 or 10 minutes just to say hello and kind of check out our equipment stuff. Sometimes when we take a pause, things need to update, things need to happen, and so we wanted to make sure tomorrow night at
Hey,
8 o'clock p.m. Uh, when we jump on here live, that everything goes like it should go, and that we can have a great conversation between ourselves and then with you as well, adding input into whatever topic it is that we decide to dive into, and we'll determine that hopefully tonight or tomorrow. But man, it's good to see you, Chuck.
good to see you too, man. And I'm going to tell you something. There is no shortage of topics for us to discuss right now, especially for guys,
Yeah,
especially for men.
yeah, yeah. I agree. So we got somebody has already given us a big yeah, and that they're seeing us, and hopefully they're hearing us. And if you would just please confirm that. We need to make sure that everything's working good. But here's the deal. All you guys know, I'm sure, how life can go sometimes, and we get so um, overwhelmed sometimes with work and family and ministry and all the things that you have to something has to take the hit, and our live streams have taken the hit over the last little bit, but we're trying to work through that. We're trying to get things in order where we can be back on with you guys on a regular basis, and discuss some of these really interesting topics, and whether they're topics about world issues or biblical issues or faith issues, whatever they are. We want to get back to doing what we do.
And we had discussed, Randall, about really trying to get into a rhythm of, and we haven't done well, and that's mostly on me, to get into a rhythm of kind of trying to do these, maybe more than once a month. I'm not saying, I don't really know what that schedule is looking like, but not only doing that, but just like randomly pulling people that that we do life with, that we do ministry with, pull them in here and just have a conversation. People like Travis Updegrove, just finished the Element 26 retreat. Did you see the picture?
I did. My goodness, what a crowd of guys!
I don't even know how many it was. Well over 100, I think.
It was more than one and less than a million, is all I could tell.
That's true.
It kind of looked like the children of Israel out there standing on the dock. So
It did waiting for it to part.
that's it. That's it. That's it.
I'm just wondering though, why didn't he part? He's got the beard and everything, so I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't have the rod.
Maybe he didn't.
Yeah. So one thing, Chuck, while we're doing this, I'm noticing that I'm still not getting any notification that this is live on the Ground Zero page, only on the community page, and you might want to make a note of that, because that's going to limit who can see this.
Gotcha.
I'm not really sure why that's going on, but if you're seeing this, that means you're part of our Ground Zero Men community. Wayne Gale is the user who just jumped
Hey,
on,
Wayne.
said yeah. So Wayne, hope you're hearing us well, and that you can see us and everything, and that you'll join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for our normal broadcast. So
Wayne's
yeah,
one of my partners in crime and partners in ministry over here at the Rock. They do the refinery, which previously um, was Celebrate Recovery. And so Wayne and Alicia are, man, I just love them to death. Wayne, just so you know, used to be a helicopter pilot, flew Black Hawks and I think Hueys and some other things. So really interesting guy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Wayne might be a potential guest sometime because I'm gonna tell you something. I know a lot about Celebrate Recovery, and I know a lot of success stories that have come from that. But I've not heard of this new thing that he's doing, and I'd really be interested to know about that. And so, maybe you can rustle him up one evening, and we can have a
I,
conversation with him.
I think we can. It's in transition right now to kind of a different format, but after the first of the year, January is the kickoff for that, and so maybe between now and then, or just after kickoff, we get Wayne on here and kind of see what that's all about.
And I would love that because if it's anything along the lines of CR, CR is not just about alcohol or drugs or any of those kind of things. We're all recovering from something. We're all recovering from some kind of, hurt or hang up, and so or habit. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd really be interested in talking to him.
I'm making notes. So and look, this was just supposed to be let's test our stuff out because I did get new versions of the software that we use and it's a little bit quirky, a little bit different than what I'm used to. So
Kind of like
um,
Ground Zero, a little quirky, a little different.
not what you're used to.
So real quick, I want to go ahead real quick, Chuck, and plug our Ground Zero Men's Breakfast coming up. We're going to talk about it tomorrow night, but I really would like to see a big turnout this Saturday morning, 9 o'clock at Cattle Stampede in Fort Payne. Man, this young man that came to last month's breakfast just struck me. 16 years old. This young man is 16 years old. And I listened to him pour into a 50-year-old man sitting across the table from him with not only biblical knowledge and wisdom, but just life wisdom way beyond his years. And he's going to be our speaker this Saturday morning at Ground Zero Men's Breakfast. So I think we're going to try to live stream that message. I know we talked about that, so we're going to give that a shot. That's another reason for our test here is to kind of make sure everything's good there because this young man is the real deal. And so if you can be there in person, it would be amazing. If you're a dad and you have a young son, a teenage son, even an under teenage son, you need to be there. You need to be there to hear what this young man has got to say. If you're a young son and you've got a dad, you need to grab your dad and say, Dad, come on, we're going to this. And be there for Ground Zero Men's Breakfast Saturday morning, 9 o'clock at Cattle Stampede in Fort Payne. So we'll be promoting that through the week. But this is going to be special.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It's about as real a conversation as you're ever going to get when you get these guys together. So I really do. Excuse me. I really do encourage you to come because one thing, Randall, that we have kind of built this thing on is this real talk, no BS.
That's right.
And that means real talk, no BS. We're just gonna look. I would certainly rather someone shoot straight with me than to really kind of beat around the bush and let me go around the mountain, yet another time. And I think we've both been in that situation before where we have gone around the mountain one or times too many, two times too many. So, it's a really great experience because nothing is really planned. We just let the Spirit of God move however the Spirit of God wants to move.
Right, right. So here's the thing, and this is the key to being there. Yes, you ain't gonna believe this, Chuck. Yes, we live stream the message, but we don't live stream that conversation after that. And
That's
that is
right.
where the real stuff takes place. Chuck, you can imagine who this is. Do you know?
I don't.
Hang on.
And follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Can you hear?
I can.
Tommy, can you hear?
Yes.
All right. Yes, I got my truck kind of handled, but you know what? Your timing is perfect.
Oh, wow.
You have called in at the precise time for a short visit with Ground Zero Men, man-to-man live stream. So you're on with us right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Welcome.
I wish I'd brought my wallet.
Oh, so for those of you that don't know, this is my dear friend and brother in Christ, Tommy Plunkett, from the Church of the Chosen down at St. Clair Correctional Facility. And man, Tommy, it is. I was thinking about that when Chuck and I decided to do just a real short, kind of a test run for we're going to do a real live stream tomorrow, and I was like, how cool would it be if Tommy were to call in?
Oh, wow.
And here you are. So, man, I want to just give you a couple of minutes to kind of talk about what's going on down there, what's going on in the Church of the Chosen, and what's going on with Tommy Plunkett.
Well, that's interesting, man. I'll be honest, man. Next time, instead of saying, "Hey, I wish Tom would call," I wish he'd just say, "Hey, I wish he'd show up at the door."
Well,
well, everything's going on good here. The Lord's doing some wonderful things. We had a good service today. We've been having service every day during the day, and guys are coming out, different kind of guys. Different crowd each day. We had some. I don't know, just some made some decisions for the Lord. Had a couple of young guys come out that hadn't normally been coming out. We're seeing men make decisions, seeing them get delivered from various things, and I don't know. There's an air of expectancy here. Had a guy walk into the office today. He kind of eccentric young man. Just kind of got mohawk and different colored eyes, and that's kind of what he looked like. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Hey, he said, I don't know if it's Isaiah or Jeremiah, but they talking about floodgates." Uh-huh. And he said, "God's going to open floodgates. He's going to use your case to do it." Mm. And this was a very eccentric type individual. I said, wow. And then he says, "Call me a trendsetter." And that's kind of interesting. I'm right now, I'm on the edge of my seat. I went to court, of course, 26 days ago, and they're reviewing me for time served, and I believe that just personally, if they wanted to tell me no, they would have did that long before now.
Yeah.
And so I'm encouraged, and I'm waiting on the next leg of this. But I'm praying and digging into the Word like never before, because I've been here almost 33 years, and I got locked up as just turned 20, and I didn't do real good out there the last time, obviously, or I wouldn't have ended up here. Yeah. And so, man, I'm just digging in with all I'm worth, man, into the Word, praying. I need God to speak to me, because it's a whole different world. I'm stepping out of a time machine from 1990. From December 1990 to any day now, 2023. And so, yes, sir, that's, I covered all the prayer I can get, both for release and after release. So that's my sister, thanks to you and the Holy Ghost, every time I call her, she wants to talk about the Lord. She was church hurt years ago, and some kind of way God has used this situation to restore not only some faith in God, but faith in the church and humanity. And that's very interesting. Yeah. And so that's in a nutshell what's going on with me.
Well, and that's some good stuff. And you know where I am on that, Tommy. And I know that on that day when you walk out of that place and you walk out of here into 2023 in the world outside, that the Lord is going to use you to make a tremendous impact. I believe that with all my heart. I believe that you and I are going to do some ministry together. I believe that you and Ground Zero are going to do some ministry together. I believe that you and Element 26 Men's Ministry are going to do some ministry together. I believe the Lord is going to open up some amazing doors for you because of your obedience, because of your dedication, and because of your love and your gratefulness for the grace and mercy He has shown you.
Man, that's humbling.
Yeah, so I got to tell you, and Tommy Destin is on with us too. He's not on the live stream, but he is listening. And
okay.
And Destin just posted a comment on the live stream. Says, "I can't wait for me and Tommy to be in high schools together, speaking to young people."
He's the guy that looks like he's still in high school, though. They're going to think he brought his granddad. Talking about, hey, what is it? Show and tell. I brought my granddad. Show and tell.
Yep, that's the one. That is the one, and that's such a funny story, Tommy, and I've shared this with you, how the Lord put me and Destin together in ministry. Such an unlikely pair, of a 62, nearly 63-year-old man and a 25, 26-year-old young man to go into the jails and the prisons together to minister. So he's a special guy. He also just said that's a weird way to flirt, Tommy.
I'm gonna tell you what's interesting though. I look at you and I tell you what, man, you kind of like and I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, but you're like one of the unsung heroes, man. Some of the people that I know, Destin, I mean, some of the people, and I can't help but wonder, the impact you all have had on my life after crime, after getting locked up. What about if this thing grew to the extent that it actually impacted the crime rate across this state, across this nation? What about if it was a deterrent, not just a remedy, but a deterrent? A cure is good, but a prevention's better. And it was when I sit in a court and just listening to what people had to say about me. And, if there's anything good about me, it's the Lord. I ain't worth 2 days lies. But just knowing that the Lord is good and just seeing a courtroom full of people from all walks of life who believe in redemption. And, man, if we could package that could heal the world.
Absolutely. And I believe, Tommy, that if we just seek the Lord and we just seek His plan for whatever it is He's got for us, because I believe He has something for us to go down that path, that I believe He can. I know that He can accomplish that. I know it with all my heart.
Yeah.
And
hey,
go ahead.
Hey, Tommy, I was just sitting here, and just being quiet and listening. And I heard this for you, my brother, that the latter will be much greater than the former for you. In your life, in your ministry, that that it's going to be more than what you ever expected, because you've been faithful with a little. God is going to make you uh, um, be over much, because you've been faithful. It doesn't matter about what we've done in our past, what we haven't done in our past. It matters about what we've been faithful with that God has given us. It's easy to sit and walk that perfect life, but when things are against you, that's when it really shows where your heart is, and that's why I'm saying I believe that the latter, in the end of this year and next year, will be so much greater than what the former was. That more lives are going to be changed, more people are going to get saved, and that redemption piece that you talked about. Man, if we could, as the body, as the church, could just get that through our heads, that people are worth redemption, that people deserve redemption. That's what Christ died for.
Wow.
So that's the word I have for you, my man.
That is awesome. That's just, it's just humbling. When, the interesting thing is, I would have rather been beat up physically than to go back to court. I know that probably sounds crazy, but being ashamed, when you think about things you've done, things you were involved in, being ashamed, being sorry, but being ashamed and not wanting people to really know. But what's interesting, when I got up there in court and I looked down across the courtroom, everybody in that room knew what I once was, and they came anyway. And no matter what they would have brought up at that hearing, everybody there already knew it, and they came anyway.
But we also knew who you are today.
Yes, but that's the humbling thing, is what a person was, and just, I don't know, seeing a picture of God's love, and so when I get on the stand, all I can do is really just admit guilt, not even defend anything. And when I was telling the guys back here, it was crazy. They're like, "Man, they put you on the stand." I said, "Yeah." They said, "Man, what'd you tell them?" I said, "Man, I broke down crying and confessed everything." And they're like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, God can't help you until you're sorry and confess to everything to Him. When you're not guilty, you don't need to be justified." And I think that was a moment there of understanding. I think I got a picture of the spirit realm, that there's a whole host of people. There's great rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents. And I think no matter what I could have spoke on my behalf, I think it meant more to people sitting out there that I was willing to admit that, hey, I'm guilty, and I'm not telling you that I deserve mercy, but I asked for it, and I'm desperately in need for it. And that's the redemption picture. But
man, something that just really, really struck me what you just said, and I've heard you say it before. I think I even heard you say it Wednesday night. You can't be justified until you acknowledge your guilt. And that goes with every single one of us, for every sin.
You have 1 minute left.
Every sin that we're guilty of. So man, that just sticks with me.
We always say, just one drop of blood was enough to pay for all sin, but there were many drops of blood.
All of them.
There was God saturated with mercy and grace.
Yes.
He didn't just have a little finger prick. I mean, he saturated us with mercy and grace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tommy, brother, I know we're fixing to lose you. We're going to be on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. If you are able and you're willing and you want to, we'd love to have you join us. We're going to have Destin on with us, and we'd just love to have you join us if you can do that.
Amen. I'll do my best, brother. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all more than you realize. Thank y'all for your prayers.
Thank you for using.
Love you, my man.
Goodbye.
Well, so much for a test run.
God has a different plan.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, I don't want to keep folks any longer, and I appreciate. Hey, Steve, man, good to see you on here with us. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Destin's going to jump on with us, and we just love to have you guys jump on with us, and when we do this for real tomorrow night. Although I can't imagine it getting more real than some of the things that we've heard in the last 15 minutes. So anyhow, you got notes, right?
I've got things to fix.
Yeah. Looks like that it was broadcasting on Ground Zero, because that's where Steve came from. Looks like. So
yeah,
we can kind of look and see why I'm not getting that notification to share, because I can't share it to my timeline from the community. So
okay, I'll take a look at all that. So
you're the man. So one last time tonight, Ground Zero Men's Breakfast this Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Cattle Stampede in Fort Payne. Breakfast buffet, made to order omelets, bacon, and
more bacon and taters. Bacon and taters.
That's right. And Bolton Lawton is that 16-year-old young man is going to be our speaker, and you're not going to want to miss that. You're not. It's great if you're not in the local area and you have to get on by live stream. That's great. We want you to join us, but if you're within driving distance, you need to be there, because it's gonna you want to be there to see what the Lord's going to speak to this young man. Yeah,
I'm stoked, man. I can't wait to hear. Just real quick on him though, Destin called him on the phone and said, "Hey, get down here. You need to come down here," and he did.
He did. That's right. That's exactly right. He said, "My dad already got me some food," and he showed up with his food
and shared it.
He did,
because it was the Lord's chicken.
That's exactly right. Anyhow, and it's great to see you guys out there. Hope to see you tomorrow night, Chuck. Always good to see you, my brother.
You too, my man. We'll be talking soon, and I'll get to work and hopefully have most, if not all, of these things straightened out by tomorrow.
All right. You give Mama D our hugs and prayers.
I will. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
See ya.